In this video, I'll be showing you how I created this video, if that makes sense. Let's get into it. So I will be readjusting my timeline so that it's going to fit the use of this video, taking it to default. Yeah, it's small, but that's so that I can place myself up here at the screen. Okay, and I will start. I'm going to play the full video for you, and then I will explain to you how I did everything. So here's the full video. Now you can see the full video, and before everything started there was scripting. That's the basic principle of creating a video cinematography. You script, and I wrote down the shots I was to take in a paper. It's nothing, just write it down. I wrote on about 6 to 8 shots, and I showed it to him. You're going to do this, after this we'll do this, after this we'll do this, and the rest. And then, by the way, this is a birthday design, a birthday video. And after that, we now started shooting. We did this shoot twice for every take. We did it twice so that we'll choose the best one out of it. And then I now went into production. To make it easy for me, he already gave me a music to use. I asked him actually, is there a music you have in mind to use? He said yes. And so I listened to the music. I did the scripting, made everything to make sure it's gonna match, and chose shots that I will need in the video so that whenever the voice is talking about that, the shots will also signify that. Like when we said the eagle has landed, I showed the eagle feather. I showed the eagle feather there. And when the song said Odogu is coming, I showed where he was walking. I don't know if I can find that now. Yeah, so I showed where he was walking in Odogu is coming. Yeah. So those are the ideas I got in my head before I started shooting, so that I will be able to get those places. And then of course there are places that he danced, you know. So let us get into production. I'm using Wondershare Filmora. It is a very nice application for video editing, and the learning curve is almost flat. You don't need to know anything in video editing to learn how to use Wondershare Filmora, and there are tutorials online, everywhere online, about using this application. So then we start. I will be changing this to make it bigger, at least so that I can see my video well. And then I'm going to start. Let me expand this timeline seek. By the way, I'll turn off the smart, the noise, and the rest. I'll turn it off for now and just walk through. So we started with everybody could hear the eagle has landed. I started with the sound first. I mixed the sound, and if you look at these places that there are markers, I played as I was playing the music, I was pressing the letter M on the keyboard so that I can mark places where I can cut the footage. As you can see, if I zoom in into these places, you will notice that each marker has a cut. So anywhere there is a marker, there is a cut into the next scene. Everywhere there is a marker, except places that I chose to ignore. But I don't think I did that in this video. There are sometimes I do it in some videos, and there are sometimes I make cuts without putting markers. That was cuts that I made after I've already done with the markers, and I'm like, I think I need to make a cut here, so I just make the cut. But basically I start with the sound, get the sound the way I want it, add the markers to the places where I want to have cuts before I start putting the videos. So each place I hear the sound, I know I need to put a particular footage here or there, then I make the cut there, or I add the marker there, add the audio, and then after that I now start putting the footage. So for each marker I will find a footage for it. Some footages are some scenes are in the same long footage where I can cut from this part and cut from another part, you understand, in that same video. And some scenes are in different videos. Some scenes are before, some scenes are after. It doesn't matter the timeline or the duration at which I shot it. What matters is placing them correctly. And then I started. So everybody could hear he's already sitting down on his chair. The eagle has landed. I first of all masked the eagle feather that is on his cap, placed it down to where it should be, and then gave it a few seconds, just a few milliseconds, like I don't know, 0.3 seconds, something like that, and then added his own full figure to match with that place. And as you can see, the feather is moving alongside everything. If it is slow, you will notice the jarriness. I don't know if that is the right English, but you notice that place where it looks like the feather is fading. That's the thing about masking and rotoscoping, and I placed it there and it matched in with the video. Now the feather footage is this footage here. If I turn it off, let me place it here. If I turn it off, you're not gonna see the feather again. If I turn it on, you're seeing the feather. So but from here, the feather has matched with the one in the video. So if I turn it off now, even though the first one on top is not showing, the one underneath has matched up, as you can see. So with this one showing, is yet to match up here, and then it matches up here. So this happens very fast that your normal eyes will not be able to see or detect it. So that is that part. We move forward to this place where I also did something. Look at this little gold ring coming out from his ear. I started it from his earring. That is his hand ring. So ring and ring. So his earring, that's the place that the ring that he's wearing on his finger popped up from, and I made it to pop up and rotate. As it is rotating, it's going into position, and as it's going into position, as you can see, something is happening to the footage. He's gradually changing to the place that his hand is, and then the hand appears into the transition. Of course, I added transitions here. This is a transition I added. There's another transition I added. I'm just going to show you, run through to you how these transitions can be added. And then I added a glitter. I downloaded this, just an image. This is just an image. This is just an image of a glitter, a star glittering. I added and gave it the animation to rotate. And of course, I changed the blending mode to screen. When it is normal, this is how it looks like, because it's a PNG. When it is on screen, it's a bit less glaring, because I didn't want it to be too much, because there will be a point where it will glare a lot. So, and I gave it a rotation, so it glares at the highest point, and I also turned down the opacity at the lowest point where it disappears. And while I was doing that, I added a pop sound, the ping. As you can see, if I play it now, you're gonna see something. I don't know if you heard that. I'm not even sure if this is recording audio. It's not recording audio, but if you can hear it from my mic, you get that. But when I will play the full video, you're going to see that as well. So we keep on going ahead. Now, how do you add transitions? It's very simple. You go over to this area in the video, in your interface, your Wondershare Filmora, and you select transitions. Wondershare Filmora uses internet because it keeps on giving you new transitions on a steady basis. There are transitions I've not used here, I might never use, because before I make up my mind to use it, something better might have come up and you find me using those ones. And the same happens with every resources in this. You can do a full video. Apart from your own footage, you can do a full video with Wondershare Filmora without having to download anything outside Wondershare Filmora. You can add audio sounds, you can add titles, you can even generate audio with AI, you can add sound effects, and there are actually meme sound effects here. But this is not a Filmora advert or a Filmora video. If you want to get this Filmora and try it out, you can find the link online and try it out. It's not free, but if you're a Jack Sparrow kind of guy, you know where you get those kind of stuff you do. So I'm not going to advise you on that. So you take the transition you want and place it in between the two clips, and it does the work for you. And that is the automatic transition. You can also do manual transitions if that is your thing. It is very simple and very easy to do. Like I said, the learning curve of this app is almost flat. If you don't know anything about video editing, you can actually do well with this video editor. And we go forward to now. It's not like I was putting everything at the same time. The eagle has landed. I didn't just start cutting out the eagle feather first and all that. I first of all placed every footage where it should be, and then the first step is scripting. The second step is, first step, let me put it this way. The first step is scripting according to the music you've heard, because this is kind of a music video sort of. So you script and place the timeline correctly, how everything should be, the expected footages. Write down the things that you need to capture as you're directing the footage, the video shoots. Then you start shooting. So script, shoot. After shooting, you now enter into production. I advise you shoot at least twice for each take, so that you have options to choose the one that is best. Then you go into the editing process. In editing process, the first step I do is I mix the music. And you can use virtual DJ. You can also use Filmora. Just find the places where the music matches very well and match them together, or you find an already mixed music online and use it if that is what you require to do. So I mix the music and then I start placing the footage to match with those markers. Sometimes the markers will slightly deviate, so you have to really pay attention, listen with your ear, look with your eyes, make sure that you get the job done perfectly. And then after adding the markers, I start adding the footage to match with the markers like I already said. After that, the transitions, the animations, the effects come in. I do the visual effects first. After doing the visual effects, I now do the audio effects, because by the visual effects, you now know the kind of sound you have to add extra to it. So I do the visual effects first, the whole movement of the eagle feather, the ring, and every other thing, the zooming and all that. If I need any sound effects there, that is the one I add last. So sound effect usually comes last most of the time. So we have this twinkle with the sound, but let's just forget about those now. Then we go on, and over here I added an effect. There is this sound in the beat, in the music, that sounds like a stamp or something like that, a strike, a thud. I don't know if that is right, the right English, you know. So it sounds like a little a deep bang. And I heard the sound as he sent me the song. I listened to it. I was like, okay, we'll have something like that here. So I told him that he should hit his staff on the floor. We did it, I think, twice or 3 times in this case, because we are trying to get the best one and also with the right lighting. So that is where he hit the sound. Let me turn off this effect, and if you just watch it, he just hits it on the floor, and that's all. He just hits it on the floor. It's now left for me to time the effects very well. And by the way, this effect is in the effects panel of Wondershare Filmora. You can find it there. The name of the effect is Shockwave. I have 2 effects. I have the Shockwave 1 and the Shockwave 2. Yeah, so there's a normal Shockwave that just has to deal with the speed, and then the other Shockwave, shock and wave, separate names, shock and wave, and then Shockwave together. Well, that's what helped me get this effect. If I turn off the Shockwave together, this is what it's going to look like. It's mild. As you can see, the strike there, I positioned it to the point where it is hitting the floor and the wave emanates from there. And then if I turn on the other shock wave and turn off this one, this is what we get. It's just going to have the flash of light. Generally, it's not coming out from anywhere, and that is all. So the 2 shock waves combined together, we now have this where it strikes and you have the flash of light everywhere. As you can see, there's a flash of light everywhere. If I turn this off, the flash of light kind of goes down. So we have that flash of light everywhere. Let me do that again. At this point, you see that the flash of light is low, is higher. So we go over to the next. These ones are slow. In slow-mo, you just select it and go over to speed and slow it down. You can type in the speed you want, or you drag it here and can also drag it here, whichever one. Learning curve is easy. And one thing I like doing to prevent having it to skip, like it is frame skipping, if you're into video editing, you understand that, I set the AI frame interpolation to optical flow, so that if there are footages that are missing as it is slowing down, maybe you shot in 15 frames per second, I don't know why you'll be shooting in 15 frames per second, it is going to augment for those missing footages and add it up so that it will flow smoothly. That is what optical flow does. If not, it's going to have some skips as it is moving. It's moving kind of like this. You see how my hand is moving? So moving smoothly and slowly. It's going to be moving in a skipping format. So I like putting all of them in optical flow, both the ones I made fast and the ones I made slow. And we keep going. Over here, I didn't add any other effects. It's just slowing down, speeding up, and all that. And then over here, there's something I did here. As you can see, you can find the ring around here. Let me expand this. And then over here, I zoomed into the ring. As we were getting to the ring, approaching the ring, it's about to disappear. I switched into where I just captured the ring on his hand. I switched into that place and we have it here. And I did something similar to the lion head as well. So in this lion head, as we're going, I zoomed into the lion head and then we switched into where he's sitting down. Yeah. So that's and like I said, we did this shot twice. So we shot in this side of the studio and then we also shot in this side of the studio. is just all the dancing. And then I told him to do something for me where he greets and then uses a fan to cover the camera. That was where I wanted to be the end of the video, so I used the fan to cover the camera. And yes, that's the name of our studio. And if you enjoyed this video, please do well to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.